Hello, and welcome to the team meeting for July 21st, 2025. For this team meeting, we're going to be discussing all of the paperwork that you guys are going to be submitting. This is just a reminder as to how to complete it. I know that some of the timesheets that I did collect, there were a couple of things that needed to be fixed, but that is all right. This is your very first time, so I'm just going to go over it one last time here. If you have any questions, please let us know. For the timesheet, obviously, you're going to put your name, the site that you are attending. This is Camp Hollis, Camp Zerby, Legends, whatever site that you are on. The pay period, like I have shown in your binders, I believe all of you have done this correctly. Just keep going with it. This is going to be where it says pay period. It's going to go from to. All right. And for the service dates, you're going to put down the dates that you have worked, how many hours that you have completed for that date. The fundraising hours, this is your community involvement project. So if you did, let's say an hour's worth of work, just filling out the paperwork, or if that is collecting your cans, or if you are, I know some of you are doing letters to the nursing home, doing those with the kids, this is going to count right here for the fundraising hours. Training hours, this includes orientation, which all of you have done. That is that hour-long video. This team meeting as well is going to be considered 1 hour. You're going to put down the day that you have worked, and then the day you're going to put it right here as the 1 hour, wherever, whichever date that you have watched this team meeting. And then you're going to total everything up here, and everything's going to be totaled down here. All right. So this is going to be the final number right here, that tells us how many hours that you have worked in total. Right here, you're going to sign and date. Then you're going to hand it over to your site supervisor, and they are going to sign and date that. And then we're going to be collecting these, and we're going to sign down here. For the activity sheets, you're going to put the date as to what you've worked, the time that you came in, the time that you came out, how many hours does that entail. Although everybody is allotted at lunch and time of like a break during your day at work, this is going to be considered the time that you have worked, um, because you were on site that entire time. So because you're on site, I know some of you are also helping feed the kids. Like I said, this is all considered time that you have worked. So if you come in at 8 and leave at 4, that entire time is counted. So put that on hours served. What you did for that day, this can be just bulleted. How many youths that you have helped. So however many kids that you had in your group. All right. Down here, you're going to put the date, time in, time out, and hours served. If you're working on your community involvement project, this is where you're going to put that right here. So if you put over here under fundraising hours, you put 1 hour there, you're going to have to specify what date, what time you started, what time you ended, how many hours that entailed, and what you did for that fundraising project. All right. And then for the training hours description right here, same thing. Whatever you put down for the training hours right here, each of you are supposed to put down 1 hour, no more than 1 hour. All right. You're going to put in the date that you watched this, the time that you started, the time that you ended, how many hours. This is going to be 1 hour. All right. And then just entailing that you watched team meetings. All right. All right. For the timesheet policy, each timesheet is allotted for 2 week time periods. All right. So not just 1 week. I know a lot of you have been sending over how many hours you worked for last week. Last week is not going to count. It's going to be last week and this week all together are the times that we need. The first week that you started under AmeriCorps, you started kind of in the middle of a 2-week period. So that's why we only asked for 1 week for that. All right. So I am going to need timesheets and 2 activity sheets just for, the first page and then the second page, I believe on the back. This is just for a 2-week. Timesheets must be filled out in black or blue ink or pen. We cannot accept anything that's done in pencil, markers, any other type of colors. We will have to send that back. If you make a mistake on your timesheet, that is completely fine. What you're going to do is you are going to cross out whatever the mistake is. You are going to initial your name. For myself, it would be KR. And then you're going to put the corrected, let's say, number above. Okay. So if you have any questions, please let us know on that. Alrighty. The next page, this is examples of what your timesheets should look like. As you can see right here, everything is totaled up, as well as the dates from and to. You can see the service dates going all the way down to show the 2 weeks and the date or the hours that they have worked for those days. How many hours they worked for the fundraising. You get 1 hour for training weeks every 2 weeks. And then you're going to total everything up right here, and you're going to get your number down here. All right. And here's another example of the activity sheet of what you have to do. I believe everybody's looked pretty all right. The only thing is make sure that you complete this down here. So if you obviously have watched this training video right here, you're going to put it down right down here. If you worked on your community involvement project, you're going to put that down right here. You can just bullet what you've done for your community involvement project for that hour. This person did 3 hours, so you're just going to say what you did for those 3 hours. All right, each of you have received a pre and post test in your blue folders. If you need any more, please let us know. Each camper that comes in only has to do this test once. This is very important. If I do not receive any pre or post test answers, I don't even need these test forms back. It's that packet in the back of your blue folder that I showed each of you. That is what I'm going to collect at the end of your contract. And if I do not have anything, any data collection information on that, I'm going to assume that you did not, in fact, do these pre and post tests, and that would mean that you do not get the educational award. Even though you might have made those hours, it just means that you did not do what was specified under your contract for fitness and nutrition. You are supposed to teach the kids about fitness and nutrition through these tests and activities. If you have any questions, please let us know. Like I said, each camper only needs one. So if you split up your campers along with your other fellow members, that is completely fine. Each camper just needs one test from somebody. Okay. That could mean 1 week you're doing 30 and then the next week you're doing 5. That is completely fine. We just need the scores and everything back to collect the data. Here is a community involvement project. Once you have figured out what you would like to do for that project, you're going to fill out this approval form. I only need one form for each site if you guys are all going to be doing it together. So I'm just going to use Hollis for example. For Hollis, if all the members wanted to do it together, you're going to put their names right here. You're going to describe what your project is. If this is a food drive, if you are doing letters for the nursing home, I know a couple of you are doing that. You're just going to put the description of the project right there. Next, right here, you're going to put down what group you're benefiting, and this has to be a non-profit organization. Something like I said, nursing home is completely fine. Um, Food pantries, anything like that would be perfect. Make sure that you contact that agency to make sure that they are collecting items from people. You're going to put their names, their phone numbers. Where will the project be held? This could be held at camp. You can have the kids help you. If you're doing a canned food drive, you can have the kids bring in cans for you. That is completely fine. Make sure that you create a flyer as well for this event. Once you have completed this approval form, you're going to submit that to myself or Jennifer. Once we give the okay, you can start the involvement project. Once the involvement project is completed, this is when you're going to do the recipient survey and the reporting form. This is just to talk about how well your community involvement project went, how many people did you help, how many canned foods did you collect, all of that type of data. And once that is complete, I'm going to collect all 3 of these papers at the end of your contract or whenever it's completed. And this is also a requirement in order to get your educational award. Each of you has to do the community involvement project. Like I said, as long as you put everybody's name down that's helping in the project, this will count with 1 paper. All right. All right. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. This is the end of the team meeting. I hope everybody has a great week.